Can Talk. Hey everyone, so today, as you can see from the title of this video, I will be doing my very first Let's Talk. Basically, in these type of videos, I'll be talking about social topics. Like for example, today I'll be talking about colorism, but I do plan on talking about things to do with like feminism, the LGBTQ plus community, mental illness, stuff like that basically. Or at least that's what I plan on doing. Basically, the purpose of these type of videos is because I like to talk about it, and perhaps you might learn something, but with saying that, I'm not like an expert or anything. I'm only a 15-year-old girl in high school, so yeah. It's not just for educational purposes, it's just, I don't know, so you can see my perspective on things, my opinions, and maybe you can share some of your opinions too if you want. Comment below, or maybe not. I don't know, it's your choice. Basically, I just want to do these type of videos because I want to. Anyways, that was a long ass disclaimer slash intro to this, so I should probably get into this video. First things first, you might be wondering, what is colorism? Colorism is basically discrimination towards someone based on their skin color. I'll read you the actual definition. So the actual definition from Google is prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. So that is a definition. Basically, it's like discrimination towards, darker skin tone. Yeah, just basically discrimination towards skin color. Now you kind of know what it is, or at least I hope. You might be wondering, what's the difference between racism and colorism? Now, in my opinion, the difference is that racism, when you just say the word, racism, it's more kind of like broad, whereas colorism is just discrimination towards skin color. Colorism is part of racism, but racism is like a whole big topic. But if you want to know the actual definition of racism, it is the prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior. It's just discrimination towards someone's race. And when you say race, it can be about your skin tone, it can be the way a person looks, it can be the way a person acts or talks, or like just their culture in general. So it's just more like broad. It's more like it's just a lot. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but yeah, I hope you understand, maybe not. Basically, again, I'm saying this again, colorism is just based on someone's skin tone, but racism is based on someone's race, so it can be like everything basically. Let's talk about opinions. Let's just start talking about my opinions about it and how I feel about it. So you might be wondering, what do you think of colorism? Well, obviously colorism is negative. There's no positive aspect to it. No, there's none. Colorism just isn't good because it affects people. It definitely contributes to insecurities, and also contributes to beauty standards, and it affects a person and how they feel about themselves. Sorry, I'm kind of changing it, moving it towards me, but personally, yes, I have been affected by colorism. I personally have never been discriminated by someone, someone is like, oh, you're ugly, dark skin was bad. But because of beauty standards and how colorism influence people's beauty standards, it affected me, because how I viewed things, I thought that white was beautiful, dark was ugly. It's absurd really how that was the way that I, was thinking. A lot of people think that way, and people who are, people of color, we think that way. It's not just, white people who think, oh yeah, white is superior than dark. People who have darker skin tone think that too, and that causes insecurities and self-hate. It needs to stop, and it needs to be talked about more. Yeah, we always are thinking, don't judge a person based on their skin color or whatever, but it's I don't know, we don't talk about it enough. We don't talk about what happens behind it, what causes the cause of racism and colorism, what does it cause? And it causes self-hate. And it's not just self-hate too, but it changes the way a person thinks, because of the way that I thought about light skin versus, I guess, dark skin. I thought about that for other people too, which is messed up. Why did I have to feel bad about myself just because of my skin color? There's no logic behind that. I haven't even like said it. Yeah, I should have said it. But yeah, I am a person of color. As I've just already talked about my experience. And if you're wondering what my ethnic background is, I am Indonesian, but I have lived here in the Western world, in North America, in Canada specifically, for most of my life, for 10 years, for 11 years now, because it's 2016. I have been affected by, you know, this way of thinking that, you know, white is more superior since I was living in Indonesia, and that was when I was like really young. I lived there until 5, and that was it. So I was very young, but even back then, that was my way of thinking. Always just wanted to be white, like always. Obviously, I don't have that anymore, that way of thinking anymore, because I am, you know, I embrace it. I like my skin color and I'm happy with my skin color. Looking back, like, it was the complete opposite. Like, I hated being tan, and especially because I easily tan. So when I was younger, it was like basically a disaster because I hated being tan and I just wanted to be white. You might be wondering, oh, when did you start, you know, realizing this, that you had this mindset, and when did you start, you know, changing? When did you start accepting your skin color? I would say that I didn't even accept my skin color until probably when I was like grade 8, which is crazy because that was only like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, even 2 years ago. Whoa. 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. That took a while. But yeah, I didn't really like, you know, accept myself until I was grade 8 or like grade 7, which is kind of late. So I was like 13. Yeah, 13, 12. But in a sense, I didn't really realize how much, you know, this affected me until probably not about until like last year, like 2014, 2015 maybe. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I was so obsessed with having, you know, light skin and just hating myself for having dark skin. Like, I feel like ashamed to say it, but this is what happened. Like, I would literally search up on Google how to get, you know, lighter skin. Like, it's kind of like, oh my god, it's kind of like upsetting actually, but that was what I did. An 11-year-old searching it up. I don't know about you, but I feel like that's a little screwed up. I remember, like, this was when I was maybe 9. So I remember it was with my sister and she was like 12. So yeah, I was like probably 9. And we went back to Indonesia. Oh, the sun. Sorry if the lighting is different now. I don't know if you already know but brightening products for your skin and like lightening, like not really brightening actually, because brightening products, like, they exist here too, but it's more like skin, basically skin whitening products were very popular, and it's still popular in Asia, especially Southeast Asia. Like, from what I've, like, you know, searched online and stuff, it is popular in Asia, but specifically Southeast Asia, it is very popular. I specifically remember this event. We were out at a drugstore or like grocery store or something that just sold lotions, and we needed it. And I remember the lotion that my sister and I wanted was the one that advertised itself as a skin whitening product, and it literally showed, like, you know, shades of like skin color, like lightening, like it, like from like brown to like white. I was like, oh my god, I need this. I'm gonna have light skin. Oh my god, yay. But obviously that product didn't even work. But basically, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm like rambling. Basically, it's just sad that people buy these products to look white, you know, to change their skin color, even though they don't even fucking work. That was the specific reason of why I wanted that lotion. It wasn't because of, you know, it was good and stuff. I wanted it based on the fact that it said, you know, whitening. That was it. Yeah. So, you kind of know how I've been feeling. I mean, I think a lot of people go through this. Doesn't matter if you are from your actual country, like living in there, or you move to another place. It's constantly happening everywhere. And it's not necessarily just like someone is discriminating another person directly. It's just kind of like, I guess, society in general and people, I don't know, having this idea and in a sense sharing it. I don't really know how to describe it, but maybe you get what I mean. Like, it's not just direct discrimination, it's maybe indirect discrimination. Don't know how to say it. As I said, I was never discriminated directly. No one has ever said, oh, you're ugly because of your skin color. No one has ever said that. But from what the majority of people believing that, you know, having lighter skin is more beautiful, better, more attractive, led me to have a certain mindset. And yes, I have moved past that and I think differently now, but it doesn't mean that I should just forget about it. It did happen and I moved on and I accepted myself, and I accept myself now, and I'm very happy that I do, but it's still happening. And although a lot of people are now, you know, embracing, you know, darker skin tones and saying that, hey, dark is beautiful too. You don't need to have light skin to be beautiful. That's great and all, but I feel like we still should, you know, talk about this more and think about it and just discuss and, I don't know, think about it. Sorry if I keep on doing this. I use my hands a lot. Yeah. So if you are, you know, struggling with accepting yourself because of your skin color, I want you to know that, you know, you are beautiful. This is a reminder, you are beautiful. Your skin color doesn't define you, and what others say doesn't define you, and beauty standards don't define you either. Your skin color doesn't define your beauty, it doesn't define your worth. It doesn't define you, you know? Embrace your skin color. It's probably really hard, you know, just like hearing it, because it's very easy, you know, to listen or to say it. Oh yeah, be happy about your skin color. But I know it's pretty hard to accept it, especially when you are, you know, I guess in a sense, stuck in that mindset. But you will get through this. I think that was a ramble, but this is my very first video for this. So yeah, I might do another video for colorism, because this is my first video and I feel like this was kind of a little bit shitty, but you know, I just like to talk about things. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give this video a like and a comment down below, and definitely subscribe to me if you haven't. That was weird. Yeah, that's subscribe. Remember, you know, you're beautiful the way that you are. Ew, that's really gross and like cliche, but it's true. Like, you know, remember that, even though that's really gross and typical for someone to say. Ugh. But yeah, remember that.
I wanna go.